Alex Eala takes center stage at the BNP Paribas Tennis Paradise in Indian Wells. And of course, Filipino fans turn out in full force to cheer her on.
Right now, Alex Eala is in Stuttgart. She got in through the back door. Qinwen Zheng withdrew injured. That was the entry. Not earned, inherited. The draw waiting for her? Rybakina, Swiatek, Paulini, consecutive. 1 week after Ostapenko dismantled her in Linz before she even sniffed the quarterfinals. The clay is punishing her. The ranking fell from number 29 to number 45. Nobody is rushing to defend her right now. So ask yourself the question the tennis world refuses to say out loud. Is she already being forgotten? 4 weeks ago, that answer would have gotten you laughed out of the room. 4 weeks ago, this girl walked into Indian Wells and the sport got completely stunned. Not surprised, not impressed, stunned. Officials went on record. Her match tickets didn't sell quickly, they vanished. 6-hour queues in freezing desert air before a second-round match. The stadium director used one specific word. Not excitement, not enthusiasm, desperate. Then go back further, the Philippine. Women's Open final window opened at midnight. In just 1 minute, every ticket was gone. She hadn't even confirmed she was playing yet. In just 1 minute. If that doesn't shake something in you, subscribe now. Because what's building in Stuttgart this week is the chapter nobody saw coming. The tennis world got stunned once. It has no idea what's next. Start with the draw itself because the draw is the story nobody is comfortable saying out loud. Eala is ranked number 46. She got into this tournament because Qinwen Zheng's knee gave out, and the bracket she landed in contains Elena Rybakina, the reigning Australian Open champion and top seed, sitting in the same half. Before she could ever get there, her first-round opponent was Leylah Fernandez, a former Grand Slam finalist. 5 WTA titles. A player who reached the US Open final at 19 years old and took a set off Aryna Sabalenka to get there. That is who Eala had to beat just to stay in the building. And here is the part that gets overlooked when people focus only on Eala's recent results. Fernandez came into Stuttgart at 4 wins and 9 losses on the 2026 season. 5 first-round exits already this year. Her most recent match before Stuttgart was a 6-3, 6-0 loss to Diana Schneider at Charleston. By the numbers, Fernandez was not in form, but ranking and form are two different things on clay, and at number 25 in the world with a heavy left-handed serve, aggressive return, and the ability to raise her level against bigger occasions. She was never going to be a soft opening. Eala went into that match at 14 wins and 8 losses on the season. A solid record by most standards, but 3 of those losses came consecutively: Indian Wells round of 16, Miami round of 16, Linz round of 16, 3 consecutive tournaments where she reached the same wall and couldn't get through it. The clay in Linz made it worse because of how it ended. She had Ostapenko 5-1 in the second set. The match was hers, then it wasn't. 7-5 in the second, gone. That kind of implosion follows a player into the next week whether they acknowledge it or not. So the question Stuttgart was genuinely asking of her had nothing to do with ticket sales or fan attendance. It was asking whether she could hold a lead, whether the mental wiring that let her beat Swiatek and Keys at Miami last year, the run that put her on the map globally, was still intact under pressure, or whether something had quietly shifted in the weeks since. What makes Stuttgart significant beyond just another clay week is its position on the calendar. Madrid comes after, then Rome, then Roland Garros. These are not interchangeable events, they are the exact stretch where the WTA finals race gets shaped, where top 32 seedings at the French Open get decided, where a player either builds the kind of points haul that changes her year or watches the window close by June. Eala sits at number 16 in the WTA finals race through her results in the early season. Fernandez is at number 49 in the same race. The gap between them on points tells you more about Eala's actual 2026 than the current ranking does. That WTA finals race number is the figure that gets buried under the noise of recent losses but deserves more attention. Number 16 in the race at this stage means Eala has been accumulating points at a rate the ranking doesn't fully reflect yet. Her quarterfinal in Dubai, where she beat world number 8 Jasmine Paolini, generated points. Her run to the Indian Wells round of 16 generated points. The ranking at number 46 looks like regression. The race position at number 16 looks like a different story entirely. Now factor in what Paolini's presence in the Stuttgart draw actually means. If Eala got through Fernandez, Paolini was next, the same Paolini she beat in Dubai 2 months ago. That is not a comfortable second-round match. Paolini is a top 10 player, a Roland Garros finalist, and one of the best clay court movers in the women's game. But it is not an impossible one either, because Eala has already done it on a hard court this season. The precedent exists. The belief, if it survived Linz, should exist too. There is something specific about how Eala has been preparing in Stuttgart that went largely unreported outside Philippine sports media. She and Iga Swiatek have been sharing practice time at the tournament this week. Swiatek, 5 French Open titles, the most decorated clay court player of her generation, chose Eala as a practice partner. Elite players protect their preparation time obsessively in the week before a tournament. You practice with someone because they push you in a way that serves your game, which means Swiatek sees something in Eala's level worth testing herself against. The broader issue that Stuttgart exposes is the gap between what the public narrative around Eala has become and what the actual competitive reality demands. The narrative is about crowds and cultural moments and a country finally having its tennis champion. All of that is true and none of it is irrelevant, but the tour doesn't adjust its draw because of queues outside a stadium. Rybakina's serve doesn't get slower because a fan drove 4 hours from another city. The points Eala needs to climb back toward number 29, her career high heading into Miami, don't materialize through cultural significance. They come from winning matches on clay against players who are very good at clay. The ranking fell from number 29 to number 46 in roughly 4 weeks. That creates a specific kind of psychological pressure for a 20-year-old who got a taste of what the top 30 felt like and then watched it slip. Players respond to that pressure in one of 2 ways. Either it becomes fuel, the irritant that sharpens focus, or it becomes weight that shows up as tight games and second set collapses. The clay swing is actually the best possible surface for Eala to answer that question, not the worst, despite the recent losses. Clay rewards patience and construction and the ability to extend rallies until an opening appears. Eala's game, left-handed, heavy topspin off the forehand, comfortable in long exchanges, is built for clay in a way her results this spring haven't shown yet. The surface suits her. The problem has been execution under pressure at the moments that matter. Stuttgart is a WTA 500 event, which means the points on offer are meaningful without being the enormous jumps that a WTA 1000 or Grand Slam provides. A semi-final run here would give Eala's ranking a genuine boost heading into Madrid. A title, the bracket would require beating Fernandez, likely Paolini, then navigating toward Rybakina or Swiatek in the later rounds, would be the kind of result that resets every conversation currently happening about whether she has plateaued. Nobody is expecting that. The draw was described in multiple outlets as brutal. A replacement entry taking on a former Grand Slam finalist in round 1 with a top 10 player waiting in round 2 at a tournament she wasn't even supposed to be in. The setup reads like the wrong week at the wrong time for a player trying to rediscover form. But the tennis world already learned once this year that Eala operates outside of expected setups. The Indian Wells crowds weren't supposed to happen for a player ranked outside the top 30 at a debut. The Philippine tournament wasn't supposed to sell out before the headline player confirmed attendance. The Miami semi-final last year, beating Swiatek and Keys as a wild card, wasn't supposed to happen either. Stuttgart may end in round 1. The draw is genuinely hard, the clay form is genuinely concerning, and Fernandez is not a player who goes quietly. That is the honest assessment, but nobody who has followed this story closely is writing the week off. Because the pattern, when you look at it from a distance, is that the moments where Eala looks most out of place are the ones that tend to produce the results nobody anticipated. The tennis world got stunned once. Stuttgart has the ingredients to do it again. If this breakdown hit differently, subscribe, because the clay season is just getting started and the next chapter is already in motion. Comment below with where you think Eala's ranking lands by the time Roland Garros begins, and share this with someone still sleeping on what's being built here. They're running out of time to catch you.